It is December 2nd, and it is the 57th day of the war between Israel and Hamas. First, I want to say that we're excited to see more and more of you watching these videos. We're reading your comments below, and we're excited to see that you like the idea that All Israel News is bringing you the news, as many Israelis are watching the same news as you are, and while I'm translating and sometimes explaining a little bit to you, as we do in the newspaper during some of the mornings. So here, let's start with the news now of day 57. The anchor greets with shalom and good week to you. Despite of the reports that the hostage exchange agreement talks blew up in Qatar and the Israeli delegation of the Mossad had to return back to Israel, she's saying that the effort to bring back the hostages is still going on. Low flame efforts are still happening. Rockets have been shot from Gaza and the north, from Gaza to the surrounding villages in Israel around Gaza, and from the north from Hezbollah to the northern villages of the northern Israel. The IDF killed dozens of terrorists in Gaza. And soon, this evening, Prime Minister Netanyahu is going to have a press conference for the first time alone without the defense minister or the chief of staff. We're opening up first with Suleiman Maswadeh, the reporter, that says the efforts, there are still some efforts to release some hostages. On the right side of the screen, we see David Barnea, the head of the Mossad, that's leading some of these talks to exchange these hostages for prisoners. And the reporter is saying that the Israeli delegation sat in Doha, which is the capital of Qatar, for almost a week, where it was operating like a war room for these hostages. So Israel is on one side of this hostage deal, Hamas is on the other, while in the middle there's Qatar and Egypt that are trying to mediate between the two. The report is also adding that it seems like that Hamas does not want to continue with any hostage release deal. He doesn't want ceasefire, and he's just not allowing women and children to be released. The reporter Itai Blumenthal is saying that also the Israeli delegation from Cairo, which is the capital of Egypt, of course, also that delegation came back to Israel, was called back into Israel. And Hamas is asking actually for the older men to be released. Now, older men from Israel to be released will cost a higher price for Israel to release prisoners. These are bigger terrorists, stronger men, stronger terrorists with more experience that Israel will have to release for the price of their men being released from Gaza. This evening was officially announced that Colonel Asaf Hamami, 41 years old, from Kiryat Ono, fell on October 7th. He and two other soldiers were killed on October 7th, and Hamas is holding his body in Gaza. He left a wife and 3 children. May his memory be blessed. Today was actually what was supposed to be his 41st birthday. The next headline is about testimonies of the hostages that were released. We're getting more and more testimonies by these hostages and what it was like in the captivity, and even about other hostages that are still there. The families are, of course, are begging and asking, pleading for Israel to continue to work to bring back the hostages that are left. We see here thousands demonstrating for the release of those who are left, about over 130 hostages still in Gaza. The reporter Tamar Almog is explaining more about this demonstration, and it says, for the first time this evening, hostages are going to speak in this vigil. Thousands of people are taking part in this vigil of it's called the hostage families in Tel Aviv, and even hostages are taking part in this vigil. And they're emphasizing how important it is to bring back everybody, because many families that were brought back, they're still broken, as they have a father or a son or a brother still in Gaza. The families are not whole. The reporter Ro'i Kais is saying that here there's a Hamas leader that reported to Al Jazeera as a response to Israel saying that there was a blow-up in the exchange agreement, in the hostage exchange agreement. He's saying that Hamas is not willing to exchange anymore. For them, this deal is over. There's nothing else to talk about. The reporter is reminding us that what Hamas says you can hold lightly in this case. Here we see Yahya Sinwar, one of the main architects of the massacre of October 7th. Salah al-Aghouri, one of the deputies of the senior leaders of Hamas, said that there's not going to be any more hostage exchange agreements. The reporter Amichai Stein is bringing the Israeli side, saying that there are 10 more women held in captivity and they're demanding the women back before any other hostages. And the anchor is raising the question, how will Israel deal operationally in this situation? Because there are many hostages in Gaza and Israel is continuing to attack in Gaza. The next story is about the Day 57, a summary of Day 57 in Gaza. The IDF attacked 400 targets in Gaza since the end of the ceasefire yesterday. And the city Khan Yunus in the south is heavily targeted, where Israel is guessing that the leaders of Hamas are there in Khan Yunus. Here's the defense minister, Yoav Gallant, saying that the activity of the IDF will increase. Here we see an attack on terrorists of Brigade 401. And many ammunitions and rockets are hidden under the United Nations aid organization, UNRWA. The IDF soldiers are showing and explaining that these are all ready to be launched into Israel. And this is all in a residential neighborhood in Gaza, very, very dense neighborhood. And here in a children's room, we see vests and other fighting equipment, lots of bullet magazines. The soldier is saying that all this is in a children's room, in closets and under beds. And here the next story is about the hostages speaking for the first time. Daniela Loni, she's 45 years old, and she was released from captivity from Hamas after 49 days. I'm a mother to Emilia Loni, she's 6 years old. On October 7th, we were kidnapped brutally by Hamas. My girls saw things that children in their age and in any age should not be seeing. It's a horror movie. You feel like you want to pinch yourself and wake up from this nightmare. While I'm speaking, I'm shaking, she says. She said it was frightening. There's no daily routine. There's nothing. You sleep, you cry. And every day that passes is another eternity. And people can die there because Hamas will just choose to kill them. She says every day is hell. 136 are still there. She's asking, let them go, release them. I beg you, in my name and the names of others, bring back our brothers and sisters now. And here to the press conference with Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel. He calls the citizens of Israel. Whoever saves one soul is as if he's saving a whole world. We have released 110 hostages, 86 of them being Israeli. And here are the names of the children that we brought back home. And the Prime Minister is reading each name. Gal, Or Vayagel, Bilal V'Aisha, Natalie, Mika, and many more. And these are not only names. These are whole souls of children and women that we have brought back to their homes. And Netanyahu says that the efforts of this negotiation have brought forth fruit. They have released many more hostages than originally planned. He also says that we will continue in war until we reach all of the targets. And we're all united behind our path, and we all strengthen the IDF and the other security forces that are fighting for us. Netanyahu says that there's still hard times awaiting us, but in the end we will win. Together we will win, and with the help of God, we will win. For more stories, go to All Israel News. This was the summary of Day 57. Please follow us on YouTube and social media. Subscribe to our channel, and you can like it if you have liked this video. This is Rotem Magen for All Israel News.